Hey guys, welcome back to Drop the Post. I've got something that I'm excited about, and I'm hoping you guys are excited about. I'm going to be doing a review on the HaloCam, the Dashcam full review. I'm going to unbox it for you, and then we'll go through what components come with it, what they feel, look like, that sort of stuff. Get into the install, and then I'm going to do some real live test. Some of the features, my car has lane departure, it has crash sensing capabilities, you know, front collision, things like that. So that the features work really well. So I'm hoping that it will give a good sort of baseline test as to how this works. In contact with the company, so I did get a deal on this. To do the review, which is great. I didn't get it for free or anything, but I was able to get a deal to get it in. And then there you have your contents, so your packing. Take that out, and then we got 2 boxes in there. Yeah, it doesn't say much. You can see that there. And then it's got the picture on there of what looks to be like the rear camera, and then the cable. And then on the HaloCam, it's got the HaloCam C1 Plus. C1 Plus, what that means is it really just comes with all of it. So originally when I started looking at this camera, it came with your power cable and a little module so you can stop recording, little button, which we'll get into. But it didn't come with the OB sensor. You had to buy that on top of it, where this comes with everything other than your rear camera. Let's get into it. All right, thank you. Read before you use your HaloCam. So there you go. Thank you. Read before you use your HaloCam. Just some instructions here on it, which while I do the install, I will get into more of this and what that means. All right. Okay. So just a little packaging. The construction of the box actually it reminds me of like. If you guys know the Nest products, there's the thermostat and the smoke alarm. It really reminds me of that, the way that it's put together and the way that it's made, the boxes at least. So let's look into here. Okay, so we have a USB power adapter that will plug in for power. And then we have our clamp. Oh, this is your button, so you would, oh, that's probably what the Steve had. So you can pause, record, I'll get into all that. Camera, GPS. This is the GPS here, power slot. So this will plug into your OB, and then you get power to your unit, and then you have your GPS. And then we have a little tool here, which can help to pry. It's a pry tool, can help to pry in and do all that sort of stuff. Let's look at the camera. And here we go. Okay, so, it's silver. What? I thought it was black. Bothered by that, actually. It's more of like a metallic, silver metal flake. Here's black, and then here it is. So it is a little bit off. I'm not a huge fan of that. I would have preferred that it's black. Here is for the rear insert, and then here's for the power, and then that's going to be your coupling to install onto your mount, however you're going to do that. Then the front camera, I'm not going to take that off yet, so while I do the install, I don't ruin the lens on it. Power button's over here. You have just an information light, and then your SD slot is right there. Rear camera. So here it is. This, okay, I'm actually I'm more impressed so far with this. Here's the camera. It is small. It's small. It's really small. Like if you compare the front, which is great. I mean, I know you're doing more with this, so this has to perform more, but this is quite small. So, and it's black. So on the back of the car, it'll be nice. The one thing when I was doing some research was the positionability of the vehicle, but it does have a very nice amount of movement so that you're able to customize it for your car. Here to here. Ba-bomb, like that, and then you're going to have this run all the way, you know, through your upholstery, and then it's gonna go into power. And there was no instructions actually with this one, so it does show your wiring diagram. So on here it shows you how to wire it, and then how to kind of install that stuff. It does not show what for the rear camera though. They've missed that. Idea what this would be for. Maybe for ground? Because, I don't know. I'm going to have to get back to you guys as I start to put this thing together and see what see what this does. Let's get this upstairs, get all the components into the car, and then we'll start walking through doing the install in the car. I'm hoping, let's do this. Let's get some, we'll run some cables, start running the cables, and then figure out, you know, how those go. I think they're going to be really easy just from looking at it. And then once we get all the cables run, I'll start playing around with this camera to see where it fits best, because I'm also going to have a bunch of cables coming down. Okay? The first cable. So my power is going to be really easy. Fits into the OB sensor, so I just plugged it in. It fits no problem actually, so that's great. There are some online things about will it drain the battery, will it do things like that, so we'll see how that goes. Man, so far I am loving this. It's snaking through here really easy. I was able to dump all the cords in here. There's lots of areas inside here that if I need to snake or hide some more.
Someone would charge for this. Huh? I'll do it. Come pay me. I'll install this. I got lots of cable left. Lots. Go to do the rear. So I did the front. I walked you through that. Really simple install. It was actually great. So we're gonna work on the camera next. Be micro USB for the rear camera, but it's standard USB for the front camera. Not that that matters. But then I've got this little red thing that's coming out here. I'm assuming that this is a ground. Oh no! It's actually reverse camera lamp power supply. Well, there you go. So it is power. I thought the USB was providing power, but I was wrong. That's good. I'm reading. Okay, let's go back here then. There's my old mount right there that I used to use for the GoPro. It's working, actually. It says the GPS connected. You might have heard that, so I can...
The TF card format does not meet the requirements. Please connect to the APP format.
Okay, everything seems to be working. Once I followed the instructions, it seemed to work out well. It did seem a little bit glitchy. Rear camera's going when I just powered off, turned it back on, so it's working. I'm gonna finish the install, get everything installed, and then I'll start playing around with this up here. I'm gonna go back to the rear camera. I'm gonna shut everything down. Okay, it's supposed to shut up by itself, so we'll see what happens. All right, let's go back. Okay, so I know that I got it installed properly. I know that the cables are properly done. And now I just have to mount it. As I move the camera, the app then picks it up for me, so I can utilize that when it's closed. That, so I mean, I'm still working on it, but from what I can tell, that is super, super clean. Nice and small. So when we close this up, there's just a little dot. You see it even from here. Just a tiny, tiny little thing. It sits up nice.
Welcome to use HaloCam.
I'm not a huge fan of how it mounts and how all the cables mount. It causes it where it has to stick down too much. Okay, I'm gonna clean up and then I'm gonna test it out for a little bit, and then I'll come back and finish up the video and see what works and see what doesn't work. All right, guys, so it has been about 8 months since I've installed the HaloCam, and while the install went great, the setup went well, the app was a little bit, glitchy, and the camera was a little bit glitchy to get going, but once I got the hang of it and understood it, I haven't had any problems with it to get it going. What came with the camera was the button. And the button would be used to stop and start and stop recording, that sort of stuff. So you can have it handy so that if you needed to take a shot. The problem is every time I get in the car, I got to sync this button with the unit. It doesn't seem to stay synced, and so I've just given up on it. So the button's useless. For the driver assist, not great. AS. So forward collision alert, let's have that on, and then let's have lane departure. In the instrument cluster in front of me, you can see the dotted lines which indicate left and right for lane departure. These two arrows indicate that it is functioning and it is working. Now with the car, I don't get a sound per se, I get a vibration in the steering wheel. So my steering wheel vibrated and the Halo did nothing. Nope. So that's the little note, the little sound that you get when you do crossover. I will say the problem with that, if you're playing any music, you're not going to hear the beep. There, you can see it go off in the car. The crash sensor doesn't even work. It wasn't coming up. Departure doesn't really work that well. It seems to go on and off when it wants to. It may not correspond to when I'm actually going out. Function great, and it's also reliable. The crash sensor, also not good. It seems to go off an awful lot on the highway, not so much in the city, and then it goes off on odd times in the city or on the highway where my car go off and the Halo doesn't go off, or the Halo goes off and my car isn't going off. So I find the two features in that sense don't work so well. To the OBD sensor, I have not, pardon me, I have not yet to date had a problem with it, and I've actually had the car in a couple times to get serviced at BMW, and there's been no correlation to anything that's gone wrong with the car to the OB sensor in there, nor has BMW ever warned me about voiding my warranty or having problems with it that it's connected. As the car vibrates, the camera goes on. It does not shut off immediately after I close the car or lock it. Over a period of time, it shuts off. I've never had any problems with that. It's never drained the battery on the BMW. The quality sucks. It really isn't good. It says that it's 1080p at 30 frames per second, but it's not high quality. You can barely make out license plates. You can make out action, so what's going on with the environment, that can be seen, so that's relevant if something did happen. You can see what's going on, and there's enough information on the film that you can tell what color the car is. It works, and so you're able to do that sort of stuff. So there is a mic on the camera, the dash cam, so that the HaloCam can pick up sound, interior sound. So what I typically do is if something's gone on or if something's happening, I will call out, because I can see the license plate, no problem. I'll call out the license plate number in the car, which then gets time-stamped and recorded to the video, so that all of that relevant information's there if I needed to use it. I haven't had to use it. That I've seen out there, it seems to be pretty high quality, so I don't know if it's just my unit and I just got a lemon or what the deal is. I've contacted the company several times related to it. They are very good at getting back, and within 24 to 48 hours I do hear back from them, which I think is a really good response time, and they're very helpful. That said, I haven't been able to resolve have though had an incident where the car was parked and someone scraped was driving away and scraped into the side of the bumper, significant to the point that the bumper had to be replaced. Went back and looked at the footage. The camera did not go off. So the fact that it was gouged quite a bit on the bumper, I think the car would have moved quite a bit, and I think the camera should have picked that up, but it didn't. So in my situation, I don't know how much you got to bump the car. When I open the door on the car, the camera does turn on. So I would think it seems to be, it doesn't need that much pressure, and I do have it set to sensitive, but it still didn't work. If I were to recommend this camera in terms of the quality and how it works and functions, I think in terms of functionality and build quality, I think it's quite good. The camera itself does seem a little bit cheap when you're touching it, and the SD card is a little bit troublesome to get out. But other than that, it seems to work and function for a simple dash cam. Your driver assisted options doesn't work well, and the quality of video is not good at all. Would I recommend this camera to someone else? I'd probably give it like a 6 out of 10.